Hello everybody, welcome back. Okay, I've had some technical difficulties once again, but I'm back. Just as well I couldn't narrate or do a video yesterday because my blood pressure was absolutely sky high. I have reached a point of no return when it comes to Harry and Meghan. I have never in my entire life been so angry at anyone whom I don't even know personally as I am with these two. I cannot think of anyone who had lied so much publicly and gotten away with it. Anyone who had caused so much division. Someone who has so callously hurt so many people and still think they are the king and queen of the world. So let's take stock of their lies, deceit, and hypocrisy. And as promised, I'm also going to be bringing you some gossip. Yesterday, now it will be 2 days ago, as it became known that Zara gave birth to a baby boy, the Harkles released via their mouthpieces that Harry now has a second job. Yes, indeed. Harry is now also a commissioner at the Aspen Institute, and I'll make a video on the Aspen Institute a bit later. Anyway, he's now a commissioner at the Aspen Institute's new Commission on Information Disorder. Well, most people are saying that Harry is not qualified for that job, but I think he is overqualified for the job, because if there are two experts at distributing disinformation and misinformation, it is definitely Harry and his wife. Anyway, Harry voiced his concerns over an avalanche of misinformation. Yay, Harry! Where's the avalanche of misinformation coming from? Yes, I know, there's a lot of it in mainstream media with regards to politics and blah, blah, blah. But if we look at the social scene, then I would say 90% of the disinformation and misinformation will be coming from Harry and his dear wife, Meghan. In my mind, I think it is rich coming from a dude who sat listening to his wife lie and spill vitriol to Oprah. Let's rather move on. So, we are talking about lying. Although the Archbishop of Canterbury, Old Welby, has to date not said a word about the fake marriage ceremony in Harry and Meghan's backyard, it has now been proven to have been one big fat lie, as numerous newspapers have now published a copy of the marriage certificate, which I will also put up on the screen for you. Now that that has been cleared up, I would love the truth about Archie's christening. Thank you very much, Archbishop Welby. If the Archbishop has an issue with the truth, perhaps there is another reverend honest enough to speak up and confirm that he saw the Archbishop at the synod meeting at the time of the christening. Thank you, my dear Reverend, whoever you may be. However, I have been hanging on to a piece of information which I received ages ago, and I can now tell you that I did receive an email from someone whose uncle is a bishop, and when asked by his family member, he did confirm that Archbishop Welby was indeed at the synod meeting, and that he attended the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday, and the Monday, and that he saw him with his own eyes on Saturday, the 6th of July 2019. And for your eyes, my dear subscribers, I'm putting a piece of the timetable for the Senate meeting on the 6th of July 2019 up on the screen, and it is the part that concerns Saturday the 6th. But once again, let's move on to the gossip I promised you. Firstly, I was told that Meghan and Harry do not live in their own mansion, or if indeed they do, they are not there very often. So I went snooping, and the first thing I found was that the house is still listed as being available for rent for filming at $700 per hour at a minimum of 10 hours. So we're talking about 7,000 for 10 hours. Wow. I was also told that they did not move to their own home immediately when they left Tyler Perry's mansion, but instead stayed at Oprah's ranch in Montecito. And here is where it gets very interesting. You see, Oprah owns 3 properties in Montecito: the Promised Land Estate, Seamere or Seamoir Ranch. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's C and then Mair. And the Spanish Revival Estate. Now, in total, these estates value about 100 million. Anyway, that's neither here or there. Each of these estates or pieces of land has its own homestead, guest houses, swimming pools, and I think 1 or 2 of them even have stables. Oprah's own main base, or her home or mansion, is situated on the Promised Land Estate. And now I'm going to venture a guess and say that I am convinced Harry and Meghan moved to either the Seymour, or the Spanish Villa and are still living there. And if not living there full time, I think they have been filming there from time to time. You see, I've searched their garden by going onto various websites and data dumps by estate agents and blah, 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 blah. And something which is obvious to me is that gnarled tree that they are so keen on being photographed in front of is not in their own garden. Okay, and then if you look at the interior of Meghan and Harry's home, you will find that the windows are different from those they have done a couple of Zoom calls in front of before. A few of their last Zoom calls looked slightly different, and it made me wonder whether they themselves are now only using their mansion to film in while living on one of Oprah's ranches. You see, that would make sense because at $700 an hour, they can basically pay themselves $700 per hour to film in their home. They can issue an invoice to themselves or to Archwell, or from Archwell to themselves, or from themselves to Archwell, whatever the case may be, then pay it. And then when it comes to their personal tax, they put it in as an expenditure and they will save tax on that. So it is quite possible. Okay, so before we go off topic, let's move on. I was told by another person a story which stopped me in my tracks. I was told why Harry and Meghan's nanny left and returned to the UK. Apparently, the woman was not so much homesick as she was fed up. It is said that she could not come to an agreement with the Sussexes as to her duties and hours, as Meghan also expected her to take care of the rest of the family in certain aspects. Meghan said that the woman moved back to the UK when they moved to LA, and that the nanny decided to do so because of the impending lockdown and restrictions. But that may not be exactly true, as Archie still had a nanny when they lived in Tyler Perry's mansion. And now for the very interesting part. I am told that when the nanny left, so did Archie. And so did Harry. Like I said, my source, who has a source, who worked at the mansion, was not sure of exact dates. But it is fairly easy to work out, as we know that a video was made of a live baby on Archie's first birthday, which was the 6th of May. So if this gossip is true, Harry, the nanny, and the baby took off sometime after, so somewhere between the 7th of May and end of June. I was also told that there were many dramatic calls from the mansion to Harry. And then came the drama, which saw Meghan and her friends and her whole entourage leave Mr. Perry's mansion. Once again, I'm told by someone who knows someone who worked for Mr. Perry that Meghan treated staff at the mansion badly. Stories of screaming and foot stomping and ridiculous demands very quickly did the rounds, as staff told friends and family, and friends and family told neighbors and colleagues. However, according to my source, Mr. Perry was not too happy with their behavior, the loud parties, the ugly fencing they put up without his permission, but according to the family member of someone who worked there, it was Meghan's treatment of staff that broke the camel's back. Meghan would not allow staff to keep their cell phones on them, and when she one day insisted that male security guards pat down female staff, complaints were laid. A staff meeting was held, and the next day Miss Markle left the premises. And like I said, I'm told she went from there to one of Oprah's Montecito properties. And then I found a couple of comments on Instagram, on YouTube, on other channels, etc., which actually confirmed what this person told me. And that is why I'm talking about it now, because now it's coming from more than one person. And I'm putting some of these comments up on the screen for you. And like I said, these comments basically confirms what I was told a while ago. I was also told by another person with Montecito contacts that Harry was missing in action at the time that Meghan Markle allegedly had the miscarriage. But when Doria phoned Harry and informed him of the miscarriage and said that Meghan had lost twins, he was back within a day or two. I tried my best to snoop and search, but I could not find a single person who could confirm the possibility of a miscarriage. However, I found a few who were willing to stick their necks out and say it never happened. In any event, the person who lives in Montecito also told me that the child did not return with Harry, but returned much later. She does not know exactly when, but sometime before Christmas. And that's according to staff who told other people who told other people. When it comes to shopkeepers and people living in Montecito, the news is that no one there has yet seen a live Archie. Anyway, okay. Along with all these stories out of Beverly Hills, Santa Barbara, Montecito, comments about other incidents are popping up all over if you look carefully enough. I think I mentioned this one before, but a young woman commented that a friend of hers worked at a spa in the south of France, a place Harry and Meghan frequented while on holiday there. Remember in 2019 when they went to Elton John's mansion? Well, this young lady said that Meghan threw a rock while receiving a treatment. I, of course, cannot vouch for any of these stories, but as there are so many, I can only believe that some of them must be true, which also makes me giggle even more at the fact that it is now Harry's job to mentor people in being the best they can be. And those are his words, not mine. To be more tolerant in the workplace, blah, 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 blah. Shouldn't he perhaps mentor his wife first? And only once he's had some success there would he maybe semi-qualify for such a job. Okay, people, I still have a lot more, but like I said, I have some issues with my old laptop, and I'd rather just cut it short right here and do another short video on the rest a bit later. So until I see you on that one, take care of yourselves and bye.